Okay, so the domain in this case, because it's made up of a power term, that is 2x, and an exponential term, which is e to the power negative 0.5x, correct? So for power term and exponential term, there is no limit for the domain, am I right? So we will put down x. X is a member or real number. Okay, so when we want to sketch the graph whereby there is no limit for the domain, correct? So what should we do? After we key in the function into y1, everyone, do you have y1 as 2x e to the power negative 0.5x? So this is your y1, so this is your fx. You have that in your calculator? So we know that the next step we have to go is, no calculator. Dixon don't have a graphic calculator. Have you? Okay, never mind. There are some who don't have graphic calculator in the class, right? When they go back, they know what to do because they are very good in computer. So actually, they don't have to attend Misto class. Okay, no. Some they can remember, okay? Okay, so listen here. So if you don't know what to put for your domain, correct? Actually, there is a function in your graphic calculator whereby you can straight away go to zoom. Okay. Yeah. And you scroll down. That is number 6. What is number 6? Zoom standard. Okay, you try to select that. So when you do a zoom standard, okay, the calculator will straight away draw the graph for you, correct? Yep. So you will have like that. The graph will come out some sort like that. Am I right? Okay, so now, if you want to know the meaning of zoom standard, okay, if you want to know the meaning of zoom standard, you want to know the meaning, okay, zoom standard, correct? You please go to window. Okay, so can you tell me what is the meaning of zoom standard? That means you are preparing a graph paper. The maximum value of y is 10. The minimum value of y is negative 10. The maximum value of x is 10. The minimum value of x is negative 10. So this is the meaning of zoom standard. That means when you press zoom standard, your calculator will only show the graph of that function within the area. Clear? Okay. So understand or not? So you will know how is the graph look like. Yeah. Can or not? So if you don't have a domain, you want to roughly know within 10 and 10, how is there a graph for this particular function? So you just straight away press zoom standard, select zoom standard. Okay, now, next, this graph, it doesn't give me a good view of this part, am I right? It doesn't give me the good view of this part. So I want to magnify it. So what should I do? You can go to zoom in, zoom out, but that will be better if you go to window and adjust your domain. For me, I would prefer to go to window. And I want to adjust my X minimum. Now you look at here. So what were the X minimum that you choose? If you look at your own graph paper, graph, the negative part, I don't really want it, correct? So I will choose maybe -1. Yeah. So please, negative button is which one? You better press properly. Okay. How about X maximum? If you're not sure, you go back to the graph again, then you come back to the window again. 5 or 3. Yeah, because the turning point is around 2. Am I right? Okay, so we put 3. Yeah, so all these are your choice, correct? You can choose 5, you can choose 3, you can choose 4. It's your choice. Okay, you observe the graph. Then after that, what you do? What you do? You go to zoom again. So now I want the calculator to show me clearly this part. So I select which one? Zoom fit. Calculator, draw nicely for you this range. Zoom fit. There is 0. So now your graph come out quite nice, correct? And you show quite obvious the turning point. Am I right? Am I right? Those online, are you okay so far? So you should get a graph some sort like this. Just how I did with the other class. Now I forward to you. I forward to you your graph. You can get a graph some sort like this. Okay. Where am I? Group 2. You are group 1, is it? Okay. You see the graph? I got dialect. Okay, you can look at your handphone and have a look at it. Right? So it's up to you to manipulate. So if I ask you to sketch the graph, you give me this is fine, you give me this is fine. Up to you. That is called sketch. Sketch, you won't be the actual. And here we have to put arrow. The reason is because, still remember, okay, that one I will do it later for you. Try not to give you too much thing at one go. Can I not? Everyone, are you okay? So you can play around with the graphic calculator. Can I? So the reason why I want to make the maximum point very obvious, the reason is because of the part 2 of the question. Find the coordinates of y equal to fx when the rate of change is 0. Okay, what do you mean by rate of change is 0? Okay, so let me go. So this is my y equal to fx graph. So I'm going to explain part B from the graph. Okay, so this is my y equal to fx graph. Am I right? So this point, you see, if I draw a tangent to this point, sorry, if I draw a tangent to this point, this point, I draw a tangent. Okay, have a look at it. I got this is called the horizontal tangent, correct? Am I right? So that means the f prime x at point A will be 0. Am I right? So in another word, in maths, we also call this A is the stationary. Okay, so learn up this word. Point of y equal to fx, which is the function is 2x e to the power negative 0.5x. When you see in your question, when I say stationary, what does it mean? It means stop changing. Stationary means stop, have the sense of stop. Stop changing means f prime x equal to 0. So from now onward, I will not ask you to find when the rate is equal to 0. I will ask you to find the coordinates of the stationary point. Clear? Hello? The moment you say stationary point means the rate of change of that function at that particular point, the rate is 0. So how am I going to get, I don't know calculus, I don't know how to differentiate. So can I use my graphic calculator to get the coordinates of this point? Can I? So I'm going to teach you how to use it. Oh, those SpecMax, you know how to get Okay, I'm going to teach you how to get the coordinate A. Okay, A also we call it other than the stationary point. We also call it A is the turning point. So stationary point, we have two types. One is called the turning point. The other one later I will introduce to you tomorrow. Okay, so turning point, why I call it turning? Because you see, it make a U-turn here. See or not? And this turning point, there is a special name for it. That is called maximum point. And we call it local maximum. Because in this location, it is maximum. Other location, I don't know. Around this location, it is maximum. Are you clear? So later I will let you see other graph and explain to you what is the difference between local maximum and global maximum. So now we talk about local maximum first. Can or not? So A is the turning point or local maximum. So how can I get it from the graph? Using my graphic calculator. So you can do that by doing this. Anything you want to do a calculation, want to know the point, the coordinates of any point on the graph, right? You can press this button. Okay, never mind. I wait. Okay, can? So you press this button. Second, then another button trace. Why I need to press second trace? Because on top of the trace button, there is the value, there is the small little calculate, am I right? So you have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 is what? Value. When you select this, it means that you key in the value of x, you can get the value of fx. Understand? So this is exactly like yesterday, I teach you how to count the value of the function when you are given, call out y1, then you key in the value of x, then you put enter, you can get the value of y. Am I right? Okay, so what is 0? 0 means you are finding the x-intercept. Of fx. Or any function referring to the graph, depend on what you key into your y function. You have y1, y2, y3. Okay, now, next one, what is it? Minimum. That means if you want to calculate the coordinates of the lowest point, you do that. If you want to calculate the coordinates of the maximum point, so now for this case, we are supposed to select number 4. So can everyone select number 4? The rest of it, I let you explore. Okay, so now a lot of dialog box come out. Correct? Hello? Have you select maximum? So what it come out in the dialog box? Can you tell me? Okay, so this is a graph, correct? Then under here, they put left bound. Am I right? Then they put a question mark. Am I right? So what you need to do is now you have to move your cursor to the left side of this point. Do you know how to move the cursor along the graph? You use this. You have this in your graphic on your graphic calculator. Yeah, you use that. You use this one to move. Or this one, I don't know. You try. Okay? Is it on the left side of the maximum point? Okay. So if there is a correct position already, you want to answer to the calculator, correct? You put enter. Okay? The moment you put enter, there will be a line shown on the graph. Agree with me? Do you see that? Hello? Okay. So after you put enter, there is another dialog box come out. What is it? Right bound. Okay, so you should know what do you mean by right bound, correct? So now you bring the cursor to the right side of the maximum point. Okay, up to you how right you want it to be. It doesn't matter. If you don't know, you quickly ask your friend beside you. Okay, then you put enter. Every time you want to answer to the graphic calculator, you put enter. That's it. Okay, so you will see a line come out like that on the graphic calculator on the graph. Am I right? Yes, young man. Do you have your graphic calculator? Yeah, you got everything, huh? Okay, good. Then after you have done all this, then another dialog come out. What is the dialog? Guess. So that means the calculator asks, do you want me to guess the answer for you? Is it a yes? If a yes, you put enter. Okay? The moment you put enter, there will be number coming out. There will be two numbers. Here is the X and here is the Y. Am I right? Am I right? So what is the X number that you get? 2 point, or some of you get 1.999999. Okay, so your calculator is trying to bring it to the nearest. So when you write down your answer, you can write down as 2. Are you clear? 1.9999 is very near 2, am I right? Or if you got 2 point something, that means it depends on your calculator. They are coming from the right or coming from the left. Okay, so that doesn't matter. Okay, what is the value of Y? So now you get it done. So even you don't know how to use calculator, you still can find the coordinates of the stationary point if I give you the function by doing this. Clear? So in your SAT 2, there will be a question like that. You can use your graphic calculator to help you to do all this. Clear? So whenever the graphic calculator talk to you now, based on this example, do you know how to respond? So all will be the same. So your graphic calculator, they are very user-friendly. When they put a question mark, then means they expect you to do something and you have done what they want you to do, you just put enter. Then they will give you another instruction. You just follow closely. Can or not? Okay, good. So, okay, I give you, okay, if this is my graph, okay, you have a look at it. I try to enlarge it. Okay, if this is my graph, okay, if you put your left bound here, okay, this is your left bound, and you put your right bound here. So when you put the guess, the calculator will give you this answer, definitely, because that is the highest within this value of X. Are you clear? That's why I say if you want to find the coordinates of turning point, you must cross the turning point. So the highest happened here. Are you clear? So that is the reason, because your calculator will try to calculate guess for you. So within this limit, the highest is here. Within this limit of X, the highest is here. See or not? See the difference? Okay, good. So you understand the meaning of left bound, right? That's why you must give your graphic calculator a boundary. Within what boundary you want to count the maximum. Okay? So done, Okay. So can I go back to question? Okay, so we have done this part. We have done this part. Okay, so this part, the answer for this part, the graph go like that. Correct? Yeah. The answer for this part, you just use your graphic calculator, just now all the things that we do, and you get your answer for part B will be, you just write down the answer. I don't care how you get the answer. I only give you 1 mark in the exam. Yeah, you think what? Using the graphic calculator give you 1 mark is very good already. Am I right? So the answer will be 2, 1.47. Done. 1 mark. Okay, now we want to do C. So draw the sign diagram of y equal to fx. So if I want to draw the sign diagram of y equal to fx, so first of all, I have to label the name first. Okay, every sign diagram, you must have the name of the sign diagram. That is y equal to fx. So the domain is no boundary. Am I right? So what should I mark on the sign diagram? I should mark the x-intercept, correct? Can you count the x-intercept using your graphic calculator? Yes, that is the 0. Can you please try? Go second trace again. Select 0. Okay, to find x-intercept, of y equal to fx using GC. So you go to second trace. Select number 2. That is 0. Correct? So they will come out the same dialogue like finding turning point, correct? Left bound, right bound. So if you look at the graph, the 0 is supposed to be here. Am I right? Am I right? So now you bring your cursor to the right or to the left of the 0 that you want. So they may have more than 1 0. They may have more than 1 x-intercept. So the left side should be here. Any part here, up to you, where you want to put. It's not a matter of up and down. It's a matter of left and right. So then they will have a line. Am I right? After that, the calculator, you put enter, the calculator will give you right bound. Am I right? So you move the cursor to the right. Yeah, how right you want it to be, up to you. As long as you bypass the 0. So you will get this. So this is your left. This is your right. Then they will ask you, guess. Am I right? So I tell you, it's the same story again. You press enter. So what is a 0? 0. So your calculator will come out x equal to 0, and you make sure the y is 0 as well. That is called the 0. And this happened, for this case, it happened to be everything equal to 0, okay? Okay? So now, you know how to use your graphic calculator, huh? Okay, let's go back to this question. So I will mark the 0 here. Am I right? Okay, that is called sign diagram. So now, what sign should I put for x less than 0? Negative. Why? Because the graph is below the x-axis. Then what sign must I put for x greater than 0? Positive. So next time, if I give you a sign diagram without the graph, without the function, do you know how to interpret the negative and positive? Yes or no? The answer is a yes. The negative sign for any sign diagram is show you that the function is less than 0 and is below. The graph will be below the x-axis. Do you get me? You must relate between the graph and the sign diagram, the graph and the sign diagram. Clear? That is how you interpret any sign diagram. Okay? Done with that. So now we want to sketch the graph of y equal to f prime x. Okay, I'm going to teach you how to use your graphic calculator without differentiation. I can get the graph. Okay, so you have your, so I'm going to do part D. You have your y1 equal to 2x e to the power negative 0.5x. Am I right? Okay, so can you please make sure your y2 is this? Do you know how to call this one out? To type into y2? For me, from now onward, always my y2, I will leave it like that. I will change my y1 only. So this is your y1 is your fx. So my y2 will be my f prime x. That is how you read from your graphic calculator. Hello? Got it? Do you know how to call out all this? Here, this one you don't know, you forgot. Yesterday, you have to press the math button. Then you go to and derive. Right? Then you key in whatever is it. How to call out y1? You have to go to alpha trace. So all this you cannot forget. All right? Then here you put x equal to x. Okay? So that means now my y2, the calculator will know how to do operation for you. So it will represent your f prime x. Okay, so now I want to sketch the graph of f prime x, right? I don't want fx to disturb me. So I have to make sure that only this one is highlighted. You know how to highlight and unhighlight, correct? Make sure all the plot are not highlighted. Please unhighlight everything other than Y2. Okay? Everyone, are you okay so far? Okay, good. So now, we just saw we have the domain already, correct? We have fixed our domain. So I want to know how is the graph within the turning point and so on, correct? So what I do is, I straight away go to zoom. And I do a zoom fit. So your calculator will slowly do it for you. And I can tell you how is the graph look like because I operate inside here already. I don't have graphic calculator. Huh? Okay. So definitely it will pass by this x-intercept called 2. Agree with me or not? Because just now we know when x equal to 2, f prime 2 is equal to 0, correct? Am I right? That is the meaning of stationary point of fx, am I right? Okay, so your graph, does it look like this? Does it look like this? No, you do a zoom fit, you doesn't get like that. Aha. If you did, let me have a look. So I exaggerate my graph. So what you need to do? Okay, I sketch what you did when you do a zoom fit. Then you ask yourself, how are you going to get this graph? When you do a zoom fit, you get a graph like that. All right. So now I want to make this part obvious. So what to do? Go to window, play around with it, please. Go to window and play around with it. Maybe I should sketch my graph not in this way. Maybe I should sketch my graph in this way. Like that. Like that. You play. You play with window. Then after that, you go to graph. Change your window. Change your window setting. Okay, you change your window setting. You see the turning point and the x-intercept for y equals to f5x, right? 0 or 1, correct? Then I put the then you see here is so I try to make this small also. Maybe I put 1. Then I straight away go to graph. Then this is also like what I get. No, you have to learn how to do it by yourself. Yes. Okay, you still didn't get that. What you are doing is so what you need to do is go to the window. Okay, my point is just the one that and okay. I just put one here. I put 3 here, and around up to me. Then I go to the so now you see this one, you know, obvious. This one is obvious. So I just so I said, I just want put negative 0.5. Okay. Okay, and here I put what? Or maybe 0.5. Okay, then I go to graph. Yeah, just some more. Look. Hello. When you look at your graph, like that, okay, you look at your graph, it go like that, as if here is flat like that, correct? So that means I want to cut my Y maximum become lower. And your Y minimum, you look, correct? You want to make it, you see here. So you try to cut it lower. So you change your Y maximum and Y minimum until you get what you want. Hello? Do you get me? So you have to play around with the window. Yeah, go to the window, open it, change it, and close it, then go back to the graph. Are you okay? Okay, now. Okay, so that is a graph for, hello? So your part D answer, you should give me a graph some sort like this. That is called sketch. Hello? Okay, can you please find the 0 here? Using your graphic calculator, find the 0. Why you want to go back already, is it? I'm here trying to teach you. Then I let you go back and do it by yourself. Okay, what is a 0? You go second trace. Hurry up. 2. You get 2. Right? Okay, so very important, okay. Student, listen carefully. I will continue this with some other things tomorrow. Okay, so this is my Y. This is my Y equal to F prime X. Right? Okay, so if I want to draw the psi diagram, hello, listen first. After you can slowly teach her. Okay. If I want to draw the psi diagram of Y equal to F prime X by looking at this graph, right? So I will say Y equal to F prime X. Okay, look. So here is 2, correct? Here is your X. So here is a plus, here is a minus. Okay, so now I want to teach you how to interpret the sign on the psi diagram of F prime X about Fx. Hello? So look, if F prime X is greater than 0, what can you say about Fx? Right? So this implies Fx is increasing or decreasing? Is it true? Let's see. Just now our Fx graph. Our Fx graph, isn't it just now go like that? Isn't this is called increasing? Can you relate with the graph? Okay. So that means for x less than 2, based on the sign diagram of f prime x, I know that my fx is increasing because the sign of f prime x is positive. Got it? Okay, now at x equal to 2. What can you say about fx? F prime 2 is equal to 0. So this implies y equal to fx. Stop. Stop what? Stop increasing or decreasing, correct? Stop changing, we put it. Stop increasing, okay? Can say so if you want. Stop increasing. Can or not? So that is what we call stationary point. So from the sign diagram of f prime x, I know the x coordinate of the stationary point of fx. Agree? So you better watch this video again and again. Okay, now, if this is x less than 2, okay, for x greater than 2, so if f prime x is less than 0, what does it imply? Is decreasing, correct? Because it has a negative gradient. So you see, our fx graph is going down. Oh, sorry. So it go up, it come down, then it go. So there is another important point here. I will talk about it tomorrow. Are you clear? So, sign diagram. So these two sign diagram, there's a relationship. From the sign diagram of f prime x, I can know roughly about how the fx graph go. So in the exam, you sure, SAT 2, you sure got a question whereby I give you all these sign diagram and you have to start to interpret. That's why I tell you, SAT 2 is going to be harder than SAT 1. Because you are talking about what? You are talking about relationship between fx function, f prime x function. Then tomorrow I'm going to introduce to you f double prime x. So, listen up. After today's lesson, you should be able to do your exercise 3B and 3C. Try a bit today, can or not? Tonight. So these are all called curve property. You are so lucky you have graphic calculator to help you. Last time we all use calculus to help us. And we are given the same amount of time to do our work.